Hello everyone, Treecks here and welcome back to Pokémon Puzzle League. Unlike last weekend, this time we have started with this game because the first mode has been cleared in yesterday's episode. Two things were covered. One thing was something we needed to clear, and the other thing was a little bit of a play around, the very fun Super Easy mode. But speaking of easy, after playing Super Easy and Regular Easy yesterday, Marathon I actually cleared on Easy mode in order to start off the showing of the Panel de Pon in this game. Today we are going to crank up the level instead of cranking it down. Normal and hard. I'll try to show off in the time zone, which is comparable to the Marathon. It works precisely the same, with only one difference. This time we are timed. And this is a timed challenge. Once again, we need a certain score in order to beat this mode. And this one does give an award. And getting that reward is actually harder on normal and hard. Because don't think if you actually crank up the difficulty, you need a lower score in order to clear. The score you need remains the same, no matter what. So playing it on easy is definitely the easiest way to clear this mode. But I'm going to try to do it on normal. Let's see how we can do. Okay, let's try this again. This is turning out a lot more difficult than I actually thought it would be. You can clearly see whenever playing on normal compared to the easy, what we saw yesterday during Marathon, the blocks disappear a lot quicker and therefore making good scores, especially your skill change, is a lot more tricky this time around. Therefore getting that required score, it is not a walk in the park. The exact opposite even. Nope. Barely. I guess my own fault for actually putting the game speed so high. That's also beneficial, I think. The quicker the stack rises, the quicker new blocks can form. I'm having trouble getting over ×3 in this difficulty already. Yeah, I'm definitely used to playing on easy. Most of the modes actually take place on easy, so it's not really that surprising. This is definitely not easy. Okay, here's a 4. And not a 5. At least we got somewhat of a fanfare this time. A rare occasion on these difficulties. Way to go! This is where things stopped being easy. It's a world of difference compared to the Super Easy we saw yesterday. Really big difference. Oh, here's a good one. Time 6. 7. Ultimate fanfare, finally. Okay, that should put us over 5,000 points. Therefore, finally a pretty decent score. It's still not nearly enough to actually finish this mode off. We're still pretty far away from the required score. So I think I need to switch back to easy to do that. This was a pretty good run, I feel, for normal. And yet the score is not nearly good enough. 7,000 points is pretty decent for normal. But it's definitely not good enough in order to finish this mode off. A higher score is required. So, let's lower our score even more by playing on hard. And let's also switch to 3D in order to make it somewhat interesting. Let's see if I can even get over 2,000 points. So, let's go try beating hard. I think getting 5,000 points is already pretty much impossible in this mode. Blocks really disappear fast in hard mode. Usually I think it's a safer bet to try to go for combos instead of chains. Chains is pretty much impossible. Unless you start doing preparation work, if you know what I mean. Actually putting the blocks in place before initiating your events. Then of course it is still possible to do. But that is also really freaking difficult and a pretty big waste of time if you try to do it like that, going for regular chains instead of skill chains. No matter what, it's actually really hard to get a good score on hard mode, like it's supposed to. Even if you start going for combos, Because combos are of course a lot less worth than chains. They both start off similarly, but it's really difficult getting high numbers of combos, and high numbers of chains is easier to do. However, not on hard mode. There, getting big chains is really difficult to do. Over here, times 2 at least. Should be able to get around 4,000, 5,000 points at least. Then I'm afraid I still need to switch back to easy in order to actually clear off this mode. I was hoping I would be able to do it on normal or hard, but after a couple of attempts I'm actually finding out it's way too difficult to actually get even close to the required score. This applies to both hard and normal even. Okay, 15 more seconds. Try to get at least 5,000, that I should be able to do. There we go. Okay, thank you for the chain. Did not see that one, but apparently it was one. And we get 5,380 points on 3D hard mode. Not a bad score, in all honesty. So, yeah, as you can see, normal and hard, even though technically possible, for the likes of me, not really a good idea to actually clear off the time zone. For that, we are going to play on easy and 3D. The bigger stack should be able to give me the opportunity to make really high numbers of chains this time around, and our required score is going down. Let's go easy mode. This should be where time zone gets cleared. Yeah, this already feels a lot better. 7. Yeah, can't get the yellow one in. There's already a different yellow block in the way. Okay, let's get the Jigglypuff so we can safely do our work. Oh, oops. Let's not screw up easy mode too. Be promising. Yeah, on easy mode I should be able to clear the time attack and then not reaching the target score there either. That would be funny. But I'm going to assume I should be able to do it. Yeah, this looks good. There's 10. Or it should have been 10. We're already at 7,000. It should be 8,000. Yeah. You. Oh, barely. 10. 11. 12, 13, 14, here's 15, and no! But it does not matter, it was actually enough to get our target score. Because now that we have reached it, I can finally give away what the target score is. 20,000 points. And that very big chain we just got was already enough to put us over it. So this time we are going to get the clear for the time attack. Time zone is actually cleared. Let's make sure we get the score we can write home about. Because 20,000 is fun and everything, enough to clear. If we want even better. Let's see if we can reach 30,000 before this ends. Oh, that does not work. Yeah, that's not going to happen. 25,000 perhaps? Yeah, that I'm able to reach. 25,283. And therefore saying over 20,000 points. And the people will start cheering. Something they did not do the last couple of times. It looks like normal and hard is a little bit too much to ask to actually get 20,000 points. But on easy I was able to do so. Time is up. And time zone has been cleared. Our reward is the speed medal. For getting really high scores in only 2 minutes time. So with that we have also cleared the other endless mode. And kudos to everybody who's able to do this on normal or hard. Because I tried and I was not able to do so. Did get a couple of decent scores on normal and hard, but not good enough to clear. So, we are only at 10 minutes, so of course I have time to do something else. The next thing I'd like to cover is actually the 2-player stadium, showing off the versus mode for the first time. Playing against a couple of computer players. But first let's make sure the computer player is turned on.
Hi, What can I
Because
do
on
for
default, you're going to play against a human player. The computer's only on if you switch it on in the options over here. Let's not go to the highest level quite yet, because I'd like to save that for the one-player stadium. The highest level of computer player. So let's put it on 5 or 4. No, 5. Middle of the road. It should be able to give somewhat of a resistance early game. 2-player versus, time zone and spa servers are actually ways to play 2-player stadium. 2-player versus being the basic one, the one actually got explained in the how to play, with the garbage blocks and everything. So let's go play that first. Oh, and I still need a second controller. Because even though it's going to be a computer player, I still need a 2-player controller in order to select everything. Allow me to get my Joy-Con quickly. Because I'm playing with my Pro controller myself. But I still have my Joy-Cons, of course. This is on the Nintendo Switch after all. Yeah, there we go. And this is how it works. As you can see, we have the ability to choose between 2D and 3D as well, even here in versus mode. Whenever playing multiplayer, you can also select 3D puzzling. Which is also going to be the way I'm going to cover this, because the 2D puzzling in multiplayer, that is something that gets used in the one-player stadium, so we're going to see plenty there. So here in the 2-player stadium, I'm actually going to play multiplayer with 3D puzzling, because that does not appear in the story mode, only 2D does. So the 3D multiplayer aspects we're going to see right here. And the game difficulty we're just going to keep on normal. So, now that we're finally playing versus mode, we can actually select our characters. Something you don't do in a different mode, only in the stadium modes. So, let's just pick a couple of random characters. I'll be Tracy. Master of the Mimic Mansion is going to show how this works. Whenever selecting a trainer, you get the ability to choose between one of 3 Pokemon. Each one going to be different, of course. Tracy having Meryl, Venonat and Scyther. It does not really matter which one you pick, because unlike in regular Pokemon battles, there's no type advantages in this game. It will only determine the background. And apparently... No, wait. Apparently that was the B button, I think. Come on. Don't tell me my Joy-Con is actually breaking down now. Because I am pressing the A button on my Joy-Con.
Ready to begin?
But apparently it functions as the B button. Okay, now it works. Okay, that was weird. Joy-Con failure. But we got into the battle, so let's go do some versus mode. Works exactly the same as the regular game, of course. We both get a 2D or 3D screen. And we need to start battling, just like Professor Oak explained to us in the how to play of this game. So let's get a good score by making chains like these. Okay, now I'm done. And his attack actually gets placed on my stack now, as you can see. Remember the garbage blocks. Whenever you get a high score, it will function as an attack in the versus mode. And apparently my big attack was too much for him to handle already. And we win. Since the required numbers of wins was on 3, the battle is going to continue. He has 2 Pokemon left to select. So, I'll keep using Scyther. Just like as if in a regular Pokemon battle. And he's going to try playing with Nidoran now. No difference, of course. The gameplay functions precisely the same. The only difference is, whenever he starts making chains... Wait for it. Yeah, over here. It will now be a Nidoran making the sounds. That's pretty much the only difference when selecting Pokemon in this game. The way things sound. It's the only difference. And the computer player seems to be broken because he's no longer moving. Yeah, that is something that tends to happen, I've noticed, even when I was younger. Apparently here on the Switch it is not fixed yet. But whenever playing 3D versus mode, sometimes the computer player just simply stops playing. I don't know why that happens, but it just does. Luckily 2D functions a lot better in this game. But the 3D computer players aren't really working out that well. At least not always. Most of the time they work fine. But yeah, the fact that he just stopped moving all of a sudden, believe me, it is something I've noticed earlier. Whenever playing in my early days. Back on the N64. There, I can remember it also happening sometimes. So hopefully he's going to be able to play normally this time around.
Keep on trying.
Trying to make this interesting for me. Okay, it's already going way better for him. Let's attack him some more, because apparently it's too easy for him. Okay, is that all you have for me? He's touching the ceiling already, I can see, so... No, he's able to survive. Well done, Gary. Seems we need some more... No, no, wait, there he still goes. A little bit less than a minute. And there goes his third and final Pokemon. And the battle ends fully. That's pretty much how the versus mode works, as you can see. And like I said, I must admit it functions way better in 2D. But 2D we're going to see plenty of in the story mode of this game. Whenever we are going to play the one-player stadium. So, now that we've seen how versus mode works, the regular versus mode, it's time to actually show off the other two modes. But before we go in, let's put the required numbers of wins on a lower number, because 3 is a little bit too much. Let's just do 2. That way we can actually show off the other two modes a little bit quicker. Okay, let's go back in, and this time we're going to do Time Zone. Also a mode that appears in Tetris Attack already. As you may remember, whenever playing multiplayer there, you can also use the Time Attack rules. And here a new option actually becomes available. Besides the game mode and the game difficulty, we now also have handicap. Yeah, but as you can see, we have handicap now. Just like in Tetris Attack, we can actually select a number, and that will be our head start, you might say. If you just put it on 0, you will start with 0 points, but you can also input a handicap here. Whenever you're playing against a very good player or something, you still want to have a chance. You can actually give yourself a head start, you might say. But besides that, let's go show it off quickly. I'll pick Sabrina. And player 2, the computer, I will make use Erica.
Play with me.
So we can make a female gym leader battle out of this. Abra, Hypno, and Alakazam are the Pokemon for Sabrina. So let's go pick Howard. Remember Howard. Okay, let's go do some Time Attack. We started off this episode with the Time Attack. And now we're doing it multiplayer form. Let's see if this computer player on level 5 is able to do well.
I told you so.
Hypno. 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 Hypno.
Whenever checking out the scores, take a look at the arrows. You can see the higher score, the one in blue, and that is my score, and the one in yellow below it, and that is actually the score for the computer player. Okay, I'm already doing way better than the computer player, I can see. Yeah, I know, I should have put the difficulty of the computer player higher, but this early in the project I don't want to do that quite yet. I'm going to see better computer players later on in this project. I don't want to give away how good they can get too early, so... For my coverage of 2-player stadium, I'm putting it a little bit lower. That's the reason why I'm doing that. For the best computer players in this game, we're going to have to wait until 1-player stadium. We're going to see plenty of them there. Okay, there's another good one. 4,000 points. The computer player's not even at 1,000 yet.
I told you so.
Hypno.
Yeah.
Hypno.
Make another chain.
Hypno.
Red.
Hypno.
No, this wasn't.
I told you so.
Hypno.
Oh. So annoying when that happens. Actually seeing a colored block that you can use for a skill chain, but 2 other ones actually being in the way and therefore breaking your skill chain.
Hypno.
Unfortunately, that's not always something you can do something about. Let's go higher.
I told you so. I told you so.
Hypno.
Did not see anything, so... But it does not matter, time is almost up. We're going to finish off 6,000 points against 1,800.
We're awesome.
Yeah, I know, we're awesome. Thank you, Howard. It's been a while. I'd like to quit, actually, because... I did put it on 2, but even 2, I think, is a little bit too much. One of them was already enough. Don't want to spend another 2 minutes beating this easy computer player. So let's just go to return to select. And quickly show off the third way to play. We still have some time. The episode is running a little bit long, but we only have one more thing to do. The stage clear. Unlike in Tetris Attack, even though stage clear was already present there, but not for multiplayer. Interestingly enough, they did actually make a multiplayer variant of the stage clear this time around. And since beating the computer player was easy in the first 2 modes, I'm actually going to handicap myself. The computer player can play on the normal setting, but I'm actually going to put mine on hard. Let's put the one for the computer player on 8. And let's put the one for me on... Oh, 10 is the maximum apparently. In that case, let's put the computer player's one on 6 and mine on 10. So I actually go into this battle handicapped, and therefore the computer player has a bigger chance of actually winning this time.
Let's go.
Team Rocket versus Brock. Weezing, Arbok and Golbat are the Pokemon for Team Rocket, it looks like. So, let's go see. I'm at level 10, computer player at level 4. And I need to clear 10 lines, while the computer player only needs to clear 6. Let's see if he is able to beat me this time around. Also a perfect way to show off how you can level out different skill sets in different opponents. Because it has been pretty obvious, this level 5 computer player is not good enough to keep up with me. But we can actually solve that by making it harder for me and easier for him. Leveling out our skills a little bit. I'm actually playing around on hard this time, and therefore it's a lot tougher for me to make skill chains. Or just clearing the blocks in general. Well, the computer player has an easier time. At least we haven't seen any clear lines yet, not even on the computer's end. So I still have a chance. Quite what I wanted. Oh, I see a clear line. I'm going to lose. Hey, I'm supposed to lose, aren't I? That's the whole reason why I actually can put it these settings. Let's see how far behind I am. Come on, clear line. I don't even have my clear line on the screen yet, so perhaps this was a little bit too much of a handicap. Okay, here it is. Let's see if we still have time. Come on. The computer's stupid enough not to realize what he needs to do, so hopefully I can still get to my line in time. Oh, one more block. There we go. Yeah, it's pretty obvious I only won this because the computer player was stupid enough not to realize all of the blocks needed to be under the line. If he did realize that, I wouldn't have stand a chance, let's be honest. But still pretty funny I was able to win this match. And also therefore showing off how the handicap can be used in order to level out different skill sets in different players. And with that, I think we have done enough for today, covering the time zone and also actually clearing it after switching it back to easy, and also shown off the 2-player stadium and the 3 ways you can actually play there. More on the versus mode later when playing 1-player stadium, the story mode. But this has been 2-player stadium, quickly covered. See you folks next time when we continue with this game. Treecks out!